Hey YouTube, how you doing? Kevin here, coming at you with another video. I'm working on my Craftsman, CS Craftsman 1400 watt generator. And the problem with this one right here, you give it one pull, it'll fire up on choke. The minute you take it off choke, it wants to die. And it's a 3.5 horsepower, possibly a 4, but I think it's 3.5 horsepower, 1400 watt. I've got a few generators that I keep for the house. This one right here I picked up in trade, and it's been sitting for a long period of time with bad fuel in it. I drained the fuel out at one point and it's turned again since I've been able to start it. So I'm gonna pop the carburetor off real quick and see if I can see anything bad in there going on. I cleaned out it's got a trap for the fuel. I already started working on it, and I'm like, I'll do a video on it, what the hell. So I gotta pull the air filter off. There was no air filter on it to begin with, so it's missing the filter. So it needs one of those, which if you don't run a filter in anything, it can get dirt ingestion and end up wearing itself out. So there was a little cover right here. I removed the cover, and I'm just what do you call it there, see if I can pull it apart, see how bad it is, and if it's something I need to order parts for, or if it's something I can get away with just doing a simple clean. So I took apart, I've never taken apart this particular style Briggs before. So get the carb out. And for the most part, it's in really nice shape. See if I can get a screwdriver, pop that. Oh, you try my pick. See if I can pop this off the back here. Pop that off. Once you break them loose, they come right off. I replaced the spark plug in it. It's got a new plug. But what I'm concerned about is how bad the inside of it is. I already took the plug off the bottom. Right there, people. There's why she runs like she does. Right there, see that? Right there. You can't see that from there. No, but that jet right there is clogged pretty bad. Pretty bad. So, got a thumb washer to it. See if I can show you that main jet. Look at that main jet. It's got a plug. You don't know if you can see it. It's plugged up pretty bad. So how this thing even started was beyond me. Float levels slightly, slight bit off as well. Float levels off. The okay, so we have some stuff to do to this thing here. First things first, see if I can get that float level adjusted. There's a little tab on the float. And then it should be level right across, but it's not. This one here, you can see it on the tip of it. If you're looking at the float, see how it's down on this side? This float should be sitting level. So I got to adjust it. Get that adjusted up, and then go from there. Which these float levels right here seem to suck to adjust. Oh, now I'm too high. Okay, now sitting there, it's too high. See how the gap on this side right here is from here to here, too high. So we don't want that to happen, because too high it won't work properly, and too low won't work right either. So we have to fix that whole mess. And I'm back to being too low again. Little pig, let me in. Now I'm perfect. Okay. Next step to do is take off that main jet. crack that loose, get that right out of there. That main jet. See if this right here will help it out. It's pretty bad when they get like that, you know. And I gotta clean out that bowl. Could be my whole problem. Screw that jet. Oh yeah, this thing is porked. I can see very little light through there. Gonna get my cleaner and clean that out real quick. I'll be right back. Keep the pipe going there. Yeah, these jets will pick up anything that you can put into them, so you're gonna make sure that carburetor bowl is clean, because one speck will throw off that jet pattern. You got it somewhat clean, not quite 100% yet. Just amazing how dirty that can get and how fast, you know. Go through it, and it gets dirty on both sides, just so you know. Get to clean out both sides of that jet. Man, that thing is filthy. Thing is filthy. That shit gets stuck in the orifices. It can really mess a carburetor up. This carburetor here, this generator always ran like this when I got it, so I knew something was up with it. But it was at the when I wasn't going to use it, so it's not something I really need to use. I'm just cleaning out this jet right here. So I'm working on this little jet with that little orifice inside there. That right there takes fuel from the bowl and brings it through the carburetor. And when those are off, man, they are wicked. And then of course I got to clean out all that debris in there, or if you're from me, debris. Yeah, it's just wicked bad. It's like jelly. Yeah, it literally is like jelly, and this stuff gets in the carburetor and messes it all up. Look at that. Is that crazy? How bad that is. And that's what comes out like. Right here, and that's what goes through your carburetor and plugs it up. That's bad fuel. That's all gas. That's that new gas that we have. Yeah, with the ethanol in it there. And it's really corn. It gets in there and it forms into like a jelly almost. And then if you let them sit, that's why you should use stabilizer. This guy clearly didn't use stabilizer in it. He didn't even care about it, you know? Like I said, it wouldn't run. It only ran, the first pull on choke. You take it off choke, and it wouldn't run for shit. And that, having a generator that don't run during storm season, oh, that's just dumb. You know? So, I'm just wiping this out with a dry rag, by the way. I'm not doing anything spectacular with it. I'm not going to soak the carburetor. I'm not going to do any of that type of stuff to it. It's one of those generators. I have a big one. I've got a 5,500 watt underneath this generator. And I have out back, I have that new generator I have to get the part for. the governor, which I'm going to order up later on tonight. Get that coming. And then it's like a $10 part. So I'm not worried about it. But yeah, stuff is wicked. Look at that. You see all this stuff? Even in the hole. This is the drain hole, by the way, and the screw goes on the back side of it. And when you drain, it comes out this little hole. I'm just trying to get it all cleaned up a little bit, so it looks all nice and pretty. These are aluminum, so you gotta be careful with them. They looks like someone used a pair of pliers on it at one time to break it free. Best way to break these free is just undo the screw. The nut at the bottom looks like this. This nut right here, and then to take these out, take the butt end of a screwdriver and tap them, and they break free. That's the trick to getting those out. You don't need to use a pair of pliers. The only thing that's holding it in there tight is a gasket. You know what I mean? Tight fit seal. So, clean this up as best as I can. Not too worried about it, but it's, you know, check my float. Yeah, float looks good again. The main jet in there looks good. There's a main jet way up inside here too, by the way. And it all changes with the fuel level. You float, choke. There's really nothing to these carburetors. These things are pretty simple and basic, so there's really nothing to them. And then you just want to make sure you got your carburetor clean, or as clean as you can get it, you know. And that's your screw right there for your drain I was showing you, telling you about. And you don't tighten these up too tight. A lot of people just, nope, just go until they see it, and that's it. Just snug them. That's it. Nothing to it. Make sure that the tip of your washer is good at the bottom of your bowl, and that there's no debris or debris on the top of this or here, because this right here goes into where your jet is, your main jet. And then of course you just make sure your main jet is nice and clean and clear, and you can see through it, and there's no debris. There's a cavity right in the back here. You want to make sure there's no debris in there, because that debris will go through, trust me. So you want this thing to look nice and clean when you're looking at it, nice and clean, so you can see through it. And then check out the back side to make sure that's all nice and clean. I always double check my own work just because I like to. It's good practice. And like a geometry teacher, cover all your angles. Okay, yeah, that's nice and clean. You can see through it, and I do. Okay. This screws right on the side here. This is into your fuel level. So make sure that's all nice and in there. And you don't have to go friggin' mental with it either. Oh, with the lawnmower again. Time to cut the grass. That's the nice thing about them. They cut the grass, and the place looks absolutely beautiful. Okay. Alright. We're going to put this on here. Want the fuel bowl facing so we can get it back off. So you can position this any way you want. I like it so I can unscrew it when I go to do services and stuff. And then you screw your plug at the bottom. That is a 10mm nut. These are metric, even though it's a Briggs & Stratton, which is American made. They, like everybody else, changed over to the metric system. Also want to share with you guys, you got to note the your position of your throttle rod. You know, this one only has one, but for those who don't, and that's an air bleed right there. You have to note where it came out of. And there's a little spring. Now, on the linkage rod, there's a spring. Okay, it goes over the linkage rod and hooks up to it. And what that spring is actually for is it takes the play. A lot of people are like, why is there a spring on it? That's just kind of dumb. Well, typically it would be kind of dumb. However, it actually serves a good purpose, is to, what do you call it there? Take the tension and keep it on that rod so it doesn't wear the holes out. Without that rod, you can wear your linkage rods out. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? Forgot to hook up the fuel line. So I'm going to do that right now real quick. While it's all loose and there's nothing there in my way. Okay, get the linkage on, get that all done. Alright, I'll put this on here. And I gotta get a piece of air filter foam, which I'll do later on today. So I gotta buy that gasket too, the carburetor gasket. But I figured I'd just try to see if I can get this thing to idle, because it wouldn't, like I said, it wouldn't idle for crap. It was just a real, I mean, it would run on choke, take it off choke, and then it wouldn't run. And this is an older generator. This ain't nothing. This ain't no spring chicken. And on the back side, there's a little tube. Make sure you hook up your tube. That one I popped off there with the pick. Make sure you put that back on. That's your vent, your breather vent. That comes off your valve cover. Kind of like the PCV valve, if you will. Crankcase ventilation. Which I should have did earlier, because this thing's a pain in the neck to get this on here now. Got it. Use your finger to make sure it fits all the way in there. Okay, so get that all done. Tighten her down. Don't have to gorilla tighten them. Just got to tighten them tight enough to seat properly, you know. And I'll spin this thing around and try it out, see if we can get to run. Because it wouldn't even run. It was like I said, you have to run it on choke. This is your choke lever right here. You put all the way back for choke, and you start it up, and it would run. And then you may take it off choke, it wouldn't throttle up. So when you go to produce power with it, it's not going to produce good power. There you have it. I think there might be a clog somewhere else in there. When I take it fully off choke, they'll run. That's it, it's off choke. And it's running. That actually runs very, very nice. So, the next step would be to get some foam. This is the air filter assembly right here. So you cut a round piece of foam here. The sandwich is in between here. There's a hole right on the side. The breather's always down. It's going to fit on like that. Get into that hole right there. Block in the place there like that. And then this is the cover right here that goes right here. And that's it. It has output. I've already tested it for output. The spark plug goes in that hole right there. I put a new plug in it already. And then you get your cover that covers over the spark plug. So it's a nice little generator. It ran, like I said, when you put it on choke, It ran fine. It's a little 1400 watt. It's an oldie, you know. It's nothing, no spring chicken. It's got the 12 volt charging, so you can charge a battery with it at 10 amp, which is efficient. You know, it's a good camping generator. You know, it's not overly loud. It's not quiet, but it's a good little generator. It's got 2 AC outlets, and then you got your little green indicator light that tells you it's got output. So when you start up, that lights up green. And I mean, everything on the thing is in pretty damn good shape. It just, you know, wouldn't run. So now it's running. So what I'll do is I'll start it back up again after. I'll run it out of fuel and then change the oil up in it. And then this thing is all ready for the season. Put the cover back on it and be all ready for the season. So it needs an air filter, an oil change. These don't have oil filters. So I should do a video on oil changing, huh? And then on this side over here, I don't know if you can see it or not, down here you get your fuel on and off. You can shut your fuel off right there, and it's got a little sight glass. And then you got your choke right here on this little window. That's choke and that's off choke. And then you have your little oil reservoir right here. That's where you check your oil, and that right there is where you drain your oil. So I don't know if you can see, yep, right down bottom there. So right there, yep, that plug right there is where you drain it from. Other than that, this thing's all set. So it's got a nice big muffler on it. It's pretty quiet for the most part, what it is. So I'm happy with it. Well, anyway, this is a 1400 watt generator. You saw what the fuel does to them. So, I mean, put stabilizer in them, drain them out. What I always do with them is I run them completely out of fuel, which is what I have to do to this one. I haven't done it yet. I'm gonna let it run after I get off the video with you guys. I'm gonna run this thing, gonna change its oil, and build an air filter for it, get some air filter foam, and then that's it. That's it for this one. So that was some bad jelly, huh? I don't think this carburetor was ready for that jelly. No pun intended. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe. If you have any questions or comments, by all means send them my way. And yep, this is the other generator right down the bottom there. It's a 5500 watt Coleman. This one's pretty cool. Before I get off the thing with you guys, I'll show you this one. This one, sorry, I hit you guys. These are here pull out, easy handles, they slide out. This is a Coleman PowerMate 5500, 6250 surge. It's got this gauge right here, the Digitech. This thing's awesome. This actually shows you in a graph what your load is. And it shows you how many hours are run. It's a maintenance timer. You can reset it. It's awesome. This one does the 220 to 140s. Got two GFCI outlets, and then you got your 2 regular ones. Then your receptacles for resets. Your fuel on and off, and your ignition. It's got a Yamaha MZ300, which is basically a I think it's a 10 horse. It's either a 9 or a 10 horse. I don't remember which. And this one, I'll take you around here, show you. These are the old Coleman ones. You can see the side right here. It's got the overhead valve. You can see that on it. Yeah, overhead valve, big muffler on it. Thing is huge. And then you got your generator power head. These are the square generator heads. The oldies, they don't make these no more. Everything's the round one. I like these because they're easy to work on. You can get the parts still. When I got this generator right here, the circuit board in here was burnt out, and just screws in with a couple of screws in. And this is your cover. You pop this cover off, and that's where your brushes are. Right there in that cover, your brushes. And I'm going to show you all that in another video because I got to take one apart. I got to take apart this one over here because I got to do the governor on it. See, these are the ones I love. I love these square generator heads. See, got the same style generator. This one's 500 watts less. Oh, hold on one second. So anyway, we got this one here. This is an overhead cam motor, not overhead valves. This one's got a timing chain. It's a Subaru, and the governor is bad in this one. So this one right here we're going to put together and finish this one off. I'm going to oil the part up for this tonight, and we're going to pull apart the generator. I'm going to show you how to swap out the governor. It's so easy. I could do it. So this one right here doesn't have GCFIs, but it does have for the 120s like my other one does. It's got the resets, and it's got the 120 240 volt right there. So, and it's got the 6250 max wattage, 5,000 watt Subaru, and it's also a Coleman power meter. I love the Colemans, I do. And that little Craftsman one that I showed you that we just did the carburetor on, this one has a Generac style, what do you call it there, generator to it, and that style would be found on this style generator. This is a parts one my neighbor brought over. He's like, "You want that?" Sure. It's a Generac right there. This is a nice. This would have been a nice one had water not gotten into it and flooded out. This one also has the 220 to 240s and small generator head as well. But pretty nice little machine. It's, you know, back in the day. I'm gonna clean it up, wash it up, and see what's going on with it. Not getting into that yet. And then I'm gonna order a new generator head for this one, but I gotta also replace the back of the block. The cover. I might even just make this into I might just keep the motor and order a crank and a pan for it. I got this bastard right here. This one's a 7,000 watt, 10,500. Motor runs great. Beautiful machine. However, the whatchamacallit there, the generator was junk. So, and then I have an oldie but goodie, another Coleman. This is a big Coleman. This is another power mate. This one is a 7,500 watt, and it features a 14.5 horsepower overhead cam motor. This one's parts right now. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this one yet. The generator has beautiful output. I'm just gonna hold on to it until I find another motor for it. But that's a good buggy right there. That thing runs. Well, when it runs, you can't see anything. It smokes so bad. I did a head gasket to it, but that didn't help it. So my brother said when he got it, it was seized. So I think it broke a ring. So anyway, that's pretty much it for what I got going on for generators for today. Got some generator stuff going on, so trying to figure that whole mess out. And other than that, I gotta do some sandblasting stuff because tomorrow, possibly, I don't know how the weather is going to be because I still gotta do my 102 video. But if the weather's bad, I don't think we're going to be able to. So we'll find out. If not, we're going to move it up to Monday, and I'll do it Monday after work. So, but yep, this one's an overhead valve. That one's an overhead cam. Power mate. This one is the one I just showed you there. See if we can find the surge watts. Yeah, it doesn't show you on it, but it's a. This one's a 5,500 watt. Paid $100 for this thing. Got this thing on Craigslist with a bad circuit board in it. Ran, but the power went out. So, and I love that. It's all fixed. I fixed that like 2 years ago. I've been using it ever since. That's my baby right there. And then this one's my camper one. This one's going to go on top of the white trailer there. It's going to go on the tongue of it. So I just want to make sure it's all good because, well, if you're all camping, you need power, right? So anyway, well, that's it for me. Thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe. If you have any questions or comments, by all means, send them my way. So that concludes our broadcast day.